Well, well, well. The joys of technology. So, I guess this is part two. Because all of a sudden I just got an error message that YouTube wasn't working. So, let's try this again. Hello, it's Pamela with Passionate About Scrapbooking, your Stampin' Up demonstrator, and today I'm so glad you're joining me for Story and Sketch. I'm still having technical difficulties apparently because this is the second time I've started this. And we'll see if it works today. So sorry to those of you that lost connection. Don't know if it was my internet, but it just said YouTube. I was still live on Facebook and I didn't know whether to. I probably just should have kept going on Facebook. So for the past 2 weeks, I've had problems with Facebook. Today I had problems with YouTube. So again, let me know if you're joining me. And if you want to catch my intro, you can check the previous live recording. But I'm just going to jump right back into what I was doing. And then maybe I'll just piece some things together later. So I've already explained the products that I'll be using today. I have this was a bundle of ribbon. So I think that's the petal pink. Looks similar. So either one of these would work great with this. But I'm going to use the white. And again, I would love to know if you're joining me. I am going to make space for everything now. And I'm going to move those over to the side a little bit. But they're here when I'm ready for them. And we are creating an 8.5 by 11 scrapbook page today using the Seaside Wishes along with the Country Woods paper. I also have started a sketch. Hey Kim, thank you so much. I should have just kept going, and of course I wouldn't have been able to let you know that it was messed up, but I just stopped it and restarted it. So first time that's happened in the middle of a stream, and it said YouTube failed. So okay, so here I've got all my pieces, or most of my pieces cut that I think I'm going to be using. I may have to do a little bit more cutting for my title, but I haven't decided exactly how I will do my title yet. So I've got my photos here. This is Jeff and I. So that was the same day that I took this photo, the PB&J 24, on the beach. And at the moment, let's see here, I think this was Thursday. So on Thursday, we went up or down the coast, I guess, from Vero Beach, further south, toward Palm Beach, I think. Yeah, West Palm Beach, Palm Beach. So I'll have to go back and look and see exactly what beach this was. But it was not crowded at all, and super nice, except for the ocean was very rough, and they warned against rip currents and strong waves and so forth. So anyhow, we did have our bathing suits on under our clothes because our plan was to hit the beach a little bit, and we did do that. But that was first thing when we got in the car to head down the highway A1A. So I've got some basic beige for my mats. So we'll get those on there here in a few minutes. I've pre-cut. I'm going to stamp on this. I'm taking an element from a card I saw, and then some elements from scrapbook pages that I've seen. So kind of combining all of those together. So I do have I have gutted my paper here already for the basic beige. I didn't have any crumb cake. I really like that crumb cake. I didn't have any cardstock, so I'm going to have to put that on my list to get. And let me grab some blocks here real quick, because I want to do a little bit of something to this. Let's see if I can get these out of here. They're a little snug. Okay, so I've got some blocks. And let's look at our stamp set. We've got this one to work with and this one. So I did see that this one had a little texture stamp in it. So I think I'm going to use it. I'll just move that for now. So I have put my stamps directly on the CD case and then, or DVD case, and then added a 5x7 adhesive magnet sheet to my case so that I can keep my dies with it. This is similar to how I'm used to storing my close to my heart stamps and thin cuts. They were all together in one package. So this works wonderful for me. And then I'm going to grab this to get started. And then before I do that, I like to take a couple of removable glue dots, and I'm going to put them, I'm going to put one down here and one down here so that I can center this somewhat. I guess I'll center it right about there. I think that's pretty close. And then I do have a smaller 1-inch block, so I'll just pick that up. And I'm going to use crumb cake just to, I'm going to do it in here first because I'm not going to see it so much. So yeah, I'm going to like that, I think. And I'm going to go around and just randomly put a few. You're not going to see them down here. It really needs to be just, because I'm going to have about a 1/4 inch border all the way around. So I like to just twist my stamp different ways so it doesn't look so uniform. And they don't have to be close together. Just, it's going to give it a little bit of texture. And then I'm also going to, I do have a blending brush here. It looks like I got some green on my blending brush. Oh, I did that from my changing leaves the other day. So let me, I'm gonna just clean that off a little bit because I blended a bunch of different colors. So I've got a little bit of green on the middle of that. I'm gonna tap it in here. I'm gonna tap over here so it's not really stark. And I'm gonna kind of it's looking a little green still. Just a second. It may just be that crumb cake, but and I'm just kind of trying to dry it a little bit. Look, there's still color. Where's my, there we go. That's what I want. It's kind of like cleaning my makeup brushes. So I'm trying to decide, yep, I'm going to pull this up and we're going to redo that. Since I got a little bit of green on it, sorry about that. Let's see here. So, because I don't want green. All right, let's try that again. Is it Monday? Because I'm starting to think it feels like Monday. Maybe just do a little bit where it's maybe just barely showing, poking out in here. I don't think you'll be able to see that. Okay, now let's try that. I think that's gonna work now. Let's get a lot of color and then we'll tap off. And I'm just gonna kind of go around the edge. I'm gonna bring it in a little bit here. So we're just distressing that paper a little bit using the crumb cake. Okay, so that's it. I can clean that up. I'm gonna clean all around the edges. There's a little bit up here. All right, so that should be good. And then I need to clean up. I do want to clean just a little bit more, make sure. So I've got my white here I want to put on, and I want to keep my white pretty white. So I'm going to use this just as a, make sure that I don't get any color on it. I did finally get my Stampin' Seal. I haven't got it started yet, though. I don't think I've tried to use it. There we go. Okay, I only need adhesive along the edge. I did a 1-inch border on that basic beige. Okay, and before I put this down, I want to look and see. We're going to, so this is going to be a little bit more technique heavy on this page today. So I'm going to do some distressing with my scissors just along the edge. We're going to keep it white. You might have a distress tool. I just use my scissors to kind of rough up the edges. So just a little bit. I usually kind of hold the paper on my chest or up to my chest just to kind of hold the paper in place. Guess you could, ideally you would do this before you put the adhesive, but I just thought about it. Just remembered. So lots of texture on this page. So we've done stamping and sponging. Now we're doing scissor distressing. And then we'll do even a little bit more on this other layer we're about to put on. Okay. So this one is just going to center right on here like that. Okay, so see how that gives it a little bit of texture around the edge. It's just not plain. And then we have this larger sheet of the Country Woods. So that's the back side of it. Love it. And I'm going to do some distressing on it. I am, however, I'm going to cut off a little bit more right here because I'm going to see how much, maybe about how much I need to cut off. I'm going to do some tearing and some layering with these pieces here in a minute. So that's going to be torn a little bit. I think that's going to be torn So it's not going to quite come up this high. So maybe I'll take 3 inches off of this piece right here. I had it at 7.5 by 10. I'm going to cut off 3 inches because then I can use this paper and not waste it on something else. Trying to put all my stuff back where it's supposed to be. I start throwing stuff everywhere. All right, so now with this one, we're gonna get really, you can do this with your nail too if you wanted to, which I'm gonna do on this one. Okay, it's gonna go like this. So first we're gonna just go along the edge. This is gonna be a little bit more distressed and wrinkled, and so this will give you, see, a little bit more distressing. So like old pieces of wood. So I'm just going to go along the top and the 2 sides. Don't need to worry about this so much. And if the paper tears a little bit, that's perfectly fine. That's kind of the look you want to go. Want it to tear a tiny bit. Or even going to maybe roll it a little bit in the corners. Notice that you can't go, it's harder to go this way. I guess it's the grain of the paper. You have to work a little bit more. I guess you do want to be careful not to get a paper cut too. So you could still do this with your scissors if you wanted to. I am going to kind of try to, you can even tear it on purpose a little bit if you wanted to do it here. This is going to be kind of rolled. I'm going to roll it in and then we'll roll it back out. Just to give it, soften it up a little bit. There's another tear right here. That's good. That's fine. That's what we want. Okay, and then I think I might kind of do a tear, like just a teeny tear, like right in here. So you can kind of roll it in so you see a little bit of that pattern on the back if you wanted to. So it's just gonna texturize that a little bit. And then I think that works. Now I did want to put this on here a little sideways, so not everything's straight. So I'm just going to stick that on there just like that. So I'm going to put adhesive just not right along the edge so that those pieces can stay rolled and not flattened out. All right, so I'm going to put that on here. I want to make sure I have a little bit of white, like down here and right up here, like all around the edge. Okay, and you can even roll it up a little bit more, texturize it a little bit more if you want to, once you get that adhesive on. Right here, kind of. There. Okay. Then next, let's see here. Let's work on the bottom part here. All right, so I'm gonna tear like about a 1/4 inch. This was a 1 1/4 inch piece. So I'm just going to do some paper tearing. And I think I'm going to okay, so since I didn't take this piece all the way down, yeah, I'll do this with about 1/4 inch on the bottom. Okay, and then we're going to tuck the pieces in. So I just need, I'm trying to decide if I want to do any probably not. I'm going to do some more ink distressing, but maybe not right there. Okay, I really wanted that right down at the bottom. I would suggest putting it right down here at the bottom, but then I forgot. So I'll lightly put this down, leaving about approximately 1/4 inch right down here. Have it on there kind of loosely so you can tuck stuff down in here. Then this piece I'm going to keep straight. Same thing, I don't know, let's see here. This one might be okay to have glue all the way. I'm tucking it down, and then I need to line it up, make sure it's straight. Okay, so there we have that. Then what do I want? I want to do this piece next, I think. I can layer it right there like that, but we're going to tear it too, doing the same thing with as we did the other. About 1/4 inch I'm tearing off. This was originally 1 1/4 inch by 7.5. Again, I started in Canvas a template for the sketch, so I think I'm going to try to do that every week. It's kind of my plan. Okay, so here is where I'm doing it correctly, putting the tape right along the bottom of that. So this piece was the back of that piece. I can just line that up like that. So we just got a lot of paper, a lot of texture going on with this. And then this one will tuck down underneath there, and we're going to tear it as well. Maybe make it a little bit rougher. This piece was 2 inches, so maybe like 1/2 inch. And I'm going to go kind of back and forth, back and forth. This can look kind of like sand. And then put adhesive right there on the bottom. And you got to tuck it up under there. Now with this going, I wonder if I may have to roll this up a little bit more. Okay, so see what I did there? I just kind of squished it in there so that it lined up with that piece. And then once I put this piece down, I don't know if this piece needs to be this wide. It'll work. Okay, I'm going to line it up with this. I think I need to cut a little sliver off of here, like just barely. Let's see if that works. I was kind of looking to see if I wanted to roll that up. Could do it a little bit. Could texturize that, because that color that's underneath there coordinates with this pretty peacock. Again, we're just doing some texturizing, paper distressing. And then I think that will work there. There we go. I'm just gonna leave like a little just to kind of break it up. And I'm gonna put adhesive again just at the bottom to adhere it to the page, because I think I'm going to tuck my photos down in here. I haven't figured that out exactly, but so this is just going to be like a border. Like that would be the ocean. So you could be walking off into the ocean maybe, but I just like that piece right there. So, all right, so I'm going to try to line that up with this piece best I can. All right, and that just creates your border and separates it from that. Okay, now find all my other pieces. We're gonna have to do some stamping and fun stuff here in a minute. Perfect. So this is going to be like an embellishment cluster right here. I'm gonna stamp on this and then do some of the sand dollars and starfish over here. And then my photos might actually, I had been thinking I need to do a flip flap. So I think I will. So these are close to my heart flip flaps. If you haven't seen these were available, well, to former close to my heart makers and customers through Stampin' Up recently. And I believe they will become available to all Stampin' Up demonstrators and customers when the new mini catalog goes live, I think. So if you haven't tried these, I cannot wait for you to. So I'm trying, now I got to decide. I'm going to go ahead and put my photos on my mats. I think I'm going to do the PB&J on the top to kind of, because my journaling I think is going to more commemorate our trip and the fact that we took like a spur of the moment trip. And then I'll tell you what the PB&J, here comes the story. Or more of the story. All right, so I'm going to put this one in here first. Oh, and you know what? I just realized. It's like, I didn't cut these. I decided to do them 3x4s instead of, actually, I'm going to keep this one on here. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. So these are 3x4s, so you have to, your cardstock has to be 3x4, and then your photo has to be a little bit smaller, which normally I have been printing them that way, and then I thought, no, I won't need to put it in a pocket, but I do. So I'm going just to trim. I'm going to keep the cardstock on there, and you'll see why in a minute, instead of pulling the picture off. So this will actually work just fine, even though I kind of messed up. Okay, so now this is 3x4. And then I have some cardstock on the back here that I can put my journaling on. So I can do like a 2 3/4 by 3 3/4 piece of cardstock with my journaling. So that's going to work just fine. So now let's get it put in here, facing this way. Okay. So this one won't have a mat, but I'll leave this one like this. And I've got to decide. Yeah, so I think I'm going to do it like that. And the flap will actually be over top. And when you lift it up, that'll be tucked inside. Okay, that's what we're going to do. So the way I like to, and then when you put these on here, look, it looks like it has a mat now. So it's going to work out just perfect. Okay. So to adhere these, you can adhere these on top of your page protector if you want. That's the super simple way, but I usually go ahead and put it on my page, and then I'll cut a little slit in my page protector and feed this piece through, and so it's all in there nice and secure, and you don't see the adhesive on it. So I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive just on the back right there for the moment. I'm going to line this up. I'm lining the photo up with the photo on this piece, okay? And then I can adhere that piece. So now we have this going on. So the journaling will be right here. And then to adhere it to the page, I just need to, I'm going to have to tuck that photo down into, I'm going to get it started, but I'm not going to take it off all the way yet. So this piece I want to tuck down in here just a little bit. So I think I want it just about right there. Then this will leave room for my title. And then I've got a cluster of stuff I'm going to do over here. Okay, so we can go ahead and put some adhesive right here and right here. This is a super sticky adhesive right here, so again, I'm going to wait till I get it. I think I put adhesive on that, didn't I? Just didn't tack it down. Let me see. Yep. Make sure that's, oh yeah, that's fine. So just barely want it down in there. Okay. So I think that's going to work good, just like that. Now let me pull that adhesive back off, and now it's stuck on there for good. And we can do just like that. Okay, that will work. All right, so now it is time to do the creative part. So I'm going to lift this up and get it out of the way for a moment so that we can do, I don't know that I'm going to use this stamp set for sure. I think I am, but we'll look at it here in a minute because I want to get all my stuff cut first. All right, so this whole hybrid embossing folder thing is something that's been new to me, but I got it figured out, I think, and I'll share that story on the PB&J here in a minute. I don't want to forget that. When I start assembling, we'll do the story. And I'm going to make myself a little note. I love my little Stampin' Right pen. So that'll be my reminder. Okay, these embossing folders are super thick. So you can use these just like you would a regular dry embossing folder, where you can run some paper through here and it'll do, so this would be great for a card. I mean, it would be great for a page as well, but it's got the different size sand dollars plus little sand speckles and things all right in there. Do you see that? Probably see it better that way. Okay, but then you can take this, you just have to kind of maneuver it until, I think it's this side. There we go. It just kind of like interlocks in there. Just have to fiddle around with it a little bit before you get it to, you know, it pops right back out, but where it sets in there just right. So then you can put a piece in here and you can emboss and die cut. Now I'm trying to think, I think there's a way that you can stamp it too, but that starts to get a little complicated. And I don't think I'm going to do that this time. I think I'm just going to sponge. And we'll play around with it a little bit. So let me so for this one, I've got to have my big embossing machine. So we'll start with that. I'm going to have to change back and forth though from my big cut and emboss to my little one because I don't know how, I don't know what happened, but I'm missing one of my plates. Again, I have no idea how it happened. I remember pumpkin being in here and knocking some things off, and I've looked everywhere. And I'm sure it's probably stacked in between something, but I'm missing one of my 3 plates, so I just had to order another set. So that shouldn't, I don't think that's going to mess me up with this 3D embossing. Because I think all I need are number 1 and number 4 right down here. Yep, right there. Okay, if I were doing just standard embossing, then I would need those 2 plates, I think. But, all right, so let me clean up my mess a little bit right over here. Get that stuff out of the way. And actually, we may have to cut a little bit of paper first. Let me see what scraps I have. That might work. Actually, I have a piece that I think will work fine in there. So all I'm worried about on here is getting the images cut out. These right here, I just think I need 1. And let me get some of my stuff. Again, I've got stuff going everywhere now. So I think you could, I'm not sure that this is, I'm looking to decide if this is what I'm going to do or not. I'm going to go ahead and do this. I don't know if I'm going to use it on here or not. We'll see. So let me see what my stamps look like too. All right, I'm just looking. So first let's do this so I can show y'all. You know, you can do your cardstock to size if you wanted to. Let me get it positioned in there a little bit better. I want y'all to be able to see it. Okay, so I want to pull it down to about right where the image kind of starts. And then it's probably better to do it this way. 1 second. Still kind of learning. Well, I'm learning. This is the first time I've done this one. Okay, so it's snug in there. You can sandwich it together so it looks like this. Then we can put down plate number 1, lay that down, plate number 2, and roll it right through there. Pretty snug. Whoops. So if you're joining me, be sure to say hello, like and comment. That helps me and I appreciate it so, so much. Okay, watch this. This is what's so cool. Okay, so that one kind of stuck in there, but now you have these pieces that are dry embossed and cut out for you. So if you were, I don't know that I would use this for anything or not, so we'll set that aside because maybe I'll figure out what I want to use it for. All right, I've got to see. This is where I might have a little bit of problem since I don't have my big plate. Let me rearrange here a little bit. Not sure if that's going to fit into my little one, so we may end up using that. But if we do, okay. So I wanted to show that to you. I'm not sure. I think I can use my smaller one. This is the only one I'm concerned about that it won't fit in there. I'm not sure that I can make it fit. I don't think I can. I'm gonna pull that in and see. No, it's just not gonna fit through there. So you have to have the large stamp and emboss. But I do think I want to cut a few other little things. So I'm bringing in my little mini. So that one's not gonna do me much good. Let me put this back on and let you see what I'm doing here. Better put my scissors away before I hurt myself. Okay, so I do want one of these cut out. I want some of these. Sometimes I have to get my tweezers to help get those off. I want one of each of these. And I think I may just stamp this. I think I'm going to have to stamp it and fussy cut it out. Because I want to stamp it in Pool Party, I think. And then I think that's, let me do, oh, there is the little one too. And I don't know that I need these pieces, I don't think, right now. So let's see if we can get these cut out. Got my plates on it, but I have a little hard time with this mini sometimes. So I want these in white and these in the basic beige. Let me look and see if I have, I think I'm gonna have to get some more basic beige and cut a little bit of that down. So I did get basic beige cardstock. I don't know why I haven't gotten any crumb cake yet. I've actually used it quite a bit. All right, so there's that one. And then let me get a little bit of white. Now I know I have tons of scraps of white. I just don't know if I have pieces that are big enough. So give me 1 second. See if that'll fit. Yeah. Okay, so I do have some. And I just need one of each. I need both of these in here. I'm just gonna actually, just to make it easy, I'm gonna see, I think that was big enough. Yep. Tear that. I did it wide enough. I can get all these through on the same one. I'm gonna go down here. Then I need these pieces. I'm just kind of guesstimating what size I need. And I really probably should stamp these first. I always forget that. I used to do it backwards with Close to My Heart. But since I haven't, so we'll come back to that in just a second. Let's get those pieces stamped. We've got this starfish and then the little starfish. And they're both going to be in, I'm going to close that up, Pretty Peacock. Don't think that's going to be big enough. Okay. I'm going to season my stamps since they're brand new. Just kind of let it sit there. And just make sure I have plenty of room for both. Cute. And clean that up. put it back on my carrier sheet and get that little one. I can use a smaller block for it. And then just do it right over here. Aren't those cute? Then we will cut those out. I think that's, while I'm here and I have that color out, let's stamp this piece. I wanted to put "Your friendship is the best gift" on that. Yeah, Jeff is my best friend. We met back in 2015 on October 7th. We'll be celebrating we got married August 17th of 2017. So we'll be celebrating our 7th anniversary, marriage anniversary, in a week or two. Okay, there's that. I'm going to do a little bit of distressing on that as well. Here, and I'll put that over here along with this piece. Let's go ahead and let's just get our stamping done. Or at least we still got to do the title. So that'll be once I get the page back in here. This piece I'm going to do, I'm going to use crumb cake with these little pebbles or pieces of sand, I guess is really what they're supposed to be. I think I made a mess with that. Let's see here. Actually, I think I'll leave that one on there and I'll do this bigger one. And we'll do just some random stamping on here. I'm gonna like do the back and see what, I feel like that's a little dark, so I'm gonna do the basic beige instead, and then do the little splatters that we did, like the grains of sand. I think I'm gonna like this better. I'm just gonna do it randomly on here. Do some up here. Most of the middle is going to be, you're not going to see it. Then I can do the crumb cake. Just a couple of little splatters here over top. Just very lightly. Okay, so this will be my focal point. Everything put away. Wanting to share the story with you, but I'm afraid I'll get distracted while I'm doing all this stamping. So let me, whoops, before we make a mess, and knock everything off again. All right. So there is that. We'll do a little bit more of something to that in a minute, but let's get these cut out now. All right, I can put that, set that aside, I think. Don't know if I'll use these, but I did want to show those. Machine. And then get these over here so you can see them, and we'll get, I'm going to use a little bit of my tape because it never fails, that Now I gotta line it up. Okay, I think that's good. So that's a little bit of Post-it note tape. It's like 1-inch Post-it note tape. If you haven't seen it, it is in my online or my Amazon store. If you need a link, I'll have to get it to you in a little while, since all my information is not on this page. Okay, so let me see how I think that's the way right there. Okay. Now these I don't really have to worry too much about. Just make sure I've got them on the... And let's see if we can get these through here. Gotta bring it down. Okay, let's see. Yay! When it hits a round or a square straight edge, I have a hard time getting it through here for some reason. So I don't know if I can get these. Give me a second. Thought it was going to work well because of the, it went through with the, I just can't get it pushed through. Let me go around the other side and see if I can do it. I don't know why I struggle with this, but I do. That's why I like my bigger one better, actually. Okay, so I got these cut. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get those cuts. Give me a second. We'll do them. And maybe it's just too much in there at once. That one fell right out. Okay, so those cut out perfectly. I can put those away here in a second. Sometimes I have to flip my plates and fiddle around with it a little bit to get them to work. So let's try this. So I'm trying to think of all the tips that I've learned. Sorry guys, I may not be able to finish this right now. There we go. Okay. It's got everything messed up. I was going to try to get these done ahead of time because of this issue, but I didn't. And then I don't even know if it cut very good. Let me see. I'm going to see if I can run it through one more time. Flip it. They're stuck in there, but they don't look like they really cut that great. First time using these, so. And then I don't know if I can get it through again. There we go. Okay, I'm going to do that. I don't know if I can get it. Okay, I'm running it through multiple times to see if that'll help. Those are a little tricky. Let's see, where are my tweezers? Gotta poke it out. I don't know which ones. I can't get it out. Y'all got, guys? Let's see here. Usually there's little dots. I can't tell which of the dots. Let me see. To use to actually poke it out. Anybody use this and have any tips? Because I guess the only thing I can do is this. Let me see if this works. There we go. It's starting to lift up now. 1 second. Guess it would have been a good idea for me to try that ahead of time. But now you know. A couple of little tips, I guess. This little tool helps. It's supposed to be attached to my pick a tool. I think that's what it's called. Okay. So there's that one. Now let's do this one. But this is the purpose, to get all these little pieces out. It's also helping lift that up, thank goodness. Okay, there's that one. Alrighty, that was a workout. And again, let's see here, where's my half in? Or my center, right about there. All right. Like, good grief. I don't like this to be that difficult. So I hope my plate gets here quickly, my big plate. See all those little pieces? Get those in the trash can best as I can. And so we've got those. And I do want to stamp. I'm just going to fussy cut this out because actually that'll probably be faster than trying to use that die machine. On some images it works really great, and on others it sticks too much to the glass. Okay, there's a scrap. Have that handy. And then I'm going to do this in Lost Lagoon. And so the only reason I'm cutting it out, I'm going to fussy cut it out, is because I lost one of my plates. How you do that, I don't know. It's probably stuck in, sandwiched in between something. I checked my pattern books and couldn't find it in those. I mean, I checked everywhere I can think of. Might have got stuck down in a paper collection somewhere. I don't know. Fussy cut this out real quick. So like I said, this is a really, I'm going to get pretty close, but leave a little bit of white. When you're fussy cutting. So this is a good example if you don't have a die cutting machine and want to get the look, you just have to fussy cut it. Some people love it. I actually don't mind fussy cutting. Other people I know hate it. And I'm sure that has to do with if you have arthritis in your hands or you can't see very well. Which I've struggled a little bit with my eyesight as I've aged, but I can still do it. This, like I said, is a pretty easy image to fussy cut out. And that's just up to you if you want to go down into that crevice. But there we go. Alrighty, now we can, I do want to do a little bit of stamping on here with that of art and texture. I think I'm just going to do this piece right, this one right there. Oh, they're bigger than I anticipated, so that'll be, I think, good because that'll fit just right. You could do like a watercolor wash if you want. I just decided I would do, I wanted to play with these stamps. Let me see if that's not quite long enough, so I'm going to use one of my long ones. I always forget, can't really put it on the glass table. It's hard to get up. Okay, now I'm going to use Pool Party, which is a little bit lighter. I'm going to stamp on the back once to see if I want to maybe do a second generation, which I think I probably will. Yep, I'm just going to do this in second generation. I'm going to do it, I think I'm going to maybe overlap. So just gives a little bit of texture here. And then I'm going to stamp it again. I'm using the back as just a scratch paper. Then I'm going to, I turned it around. I'm just going to overlap that a little bit, but that way I can get some ink down here too. All right, so I have a little bit more color on there. And I think that's about it. And we can start assembling. So let me bring my page back in. Oh, those dots are there still, so I'm going to see if I can stick them on there. All right, I want to do a little bit of crumb cake, just distressing. So I'm just dabbing the end in here. Okay, so that'll help that pop off the page right there a little bit. I'm going to grab the basic beige. Just doing a little bit more distressing. I'm just going to roll this kind of at an angle. Okay, get a little bit of color on that white edge that I left. And if it touches into the Pool Party, that's perfectly fine. I'm going to take this, a few more little pieces that need to pop out. If they don't all pop out, that's fine. But okay, we're going to distress this a little bit. I'm just doing little circular motions. So that just kind of makes it coordinate. It's not so stark. See how much lighter it is? And gives that a little more texture. Okay, and I want to do this piece. I think I'm just going to do it. When this basic beige goes on, it kind of looks greenish, but I think it'll dry a little bit lighter. All right, I think I can assemble this little cluster, and then I think I'm just going to stamp the word beach up here, and then I'm going to have to put ink in my cartridge, my printer, and I'm going to print out, I think, vacation. So beach vacation. All right, while I'm assembling this, I can share the story with you. I didn't forget about the PB&J. So, hey, Lori. Thanks, Kim, for commenting. I appreciate it. Thank you for the happy anniversary wishes. All right, so let's see here. I'm going to, oh, I do have one more thing that I want to do on here. So the, I'm going to go ahead and adhere this. So Jeff came up with the name PB&J super early into our relationship. I don't know that it matters which way it goes. It's just gonna go like maybe right here, I think. Okay. And we were doing a lot of texting. We met online, and I've shared this a few times. Some of y'all may know, others won't, but we met on farmersonly.com. We both signed up on a Tuesday, and then Wednesday on October 7th, he messaged me, and I'm going to roll these a little bit just to give them a little bit more texture, not make them so flat. And we had our long distance relationship for almost 2 years before we got married. And I'm going to put just a little bit adhesive in the middle, not all over. And so we did a lot of texting, phone calls, and so forth, and only got to see each other like every other weekend. Worked out that all our kids were visiting their other parents on the same weekend because Jeff had custody of his girls, or his kids. He had three kiddos, 2 girls and a boy. I want to distress this a little bit. Oh, and I also want to find my scissors. There they are. I think I'm going to just do a little, I'm going to do this one the same direction. And so in our texting, his oldest daughter at the time, I think was maybe in 8th grade. So he had an 8th grader, a 7th grader, and then I guess they were in 3rd grade or 4th grade. The 2 youngest ones were both my youngest daughter and then Jeff's youngest. So they were close in age. At the time, both 8, I believe, when we met. Okay, so I gave that a little bit of texture as well. So before I put this other, I think I can put this one on. So he was texting me one night, and he started calling me his sandwich. I think his oldest daughter was asking, "Who are you texting?" He said, "I'm texting my sandwich." Or maybe he told, yeah, I don't remember exactly how that went, but anyway, so he came up with PB&J because the P stands for me, which is Pamela. The B stands for Blackwell. That was his last name. And then his first name is Jeff. So PB&J. So that's our favorite sandwich. So we started dating in October, and then in November, he took me down to the coast of, I'm going to put it right about there, Texas, to Corpus Christi area. So remember I had this ribbon. All right, so I'm going to do the ribbon about like that. Maybe not quite as long. And we'd only been dating a little over a month, about a month and a half. And went down to the beach, and we put in the sand PB&J. Just, we were in love and not thinking much of it. Like, what's the big deal? And I shared the picture on my Facebook, and my ex-husband got wind of it, and I accused us of cohabitating because it was Pamela, Blackwell, and Jeff. So that started 8 years of post-separation abuse, which was just ended like 2 years ago in September. So that's part of my story. It's really a hard part of the story, but it's very challenging emotionally. I'm not doing very well with cutting that down the center. I'm trying to cut it down the center. I think I really don't have to do all the way, just on the edge. So I'm going to do little short cuts. Okay, because they're just going to stick out here and be a little frayed looking. And I am going to do it twice. So this was a fun little technique I saw on someone's card that I wanted to try. So if you're ever in the situation where you're divorced, and be very careful doing anything that might allude even to cohabitating, because we were not. We lived 2.5 hours away from each other and just saw each other on the few weekends. So some of that's coming off, see, but that way you can kind of fray it. And that's fine. You can kind of pull them apart. Maybe not both of them, maybe one of each. I'll do this one because that one looks like it was. Okay, again, this is just adding a little more texture and dimension. So now I'm going to put some adhesive on the back there and do just those over one on top of one another, I think. I'll do that one at a little bit of an angle. Okay. I think I like that. And then this piece, we'll put this piece on first. I'm going to use some dimensionals. So maybe top and bottom, because that's pretty bulky. Back up here. So, but after getting through all that mess, yeah, we can freely use the PB&J. That's part of our story. All right, I'm going to do it right about there, I think. And then this piece, I'm just going to, I don't want it too dimensional. So let's do just some adhesive like right in here. Jeff is definitely the best thing that has ever happened to me. So grateful for him. And his friendship is definitely, it's wonderful to have your spouse be your best friend. And we still have these. Just need to stick them up here somewhere. Okay, so I think I can just put some glue on these two ends, maybe a mini dot. Out here on one. We'll do that. I think that's far enough out, I'm not sure. It may be too high. Okay, there we got that. And this one, I'm just going to glue it down here at the bottom. And then let's see. if I can squeeze in the word beach right there. I'm not sure how big these are. Let's see, there's B. All the letters are kind of jumbled up on these. So these are this is the stamp set. So these are all the alphabets and numbers. No, I'm not going to repeat P, B, and J. So, all right. So let's see if I can stamp beach right here. B-E. I think I may just be able to make it fit. And where's the C? There's the H. C's on the other page. And I don't want to have to fussy cut these out, really. So I'd like just to stamp them right on the page, I think. I don't know if they're going to fit. Let me see if I can overlap a little bit. I'm just visualizing. Okay, that's what we'll do. I'm just going to kind of do it cattywampus is my word for the week. I've used it multiple times. And we're just going to make it work. I think I'm going to just stamp it. Should I stamp it in Pretty in Peacock, or maybe I should grab my early espresso? I think I'm going to do early espresso because of this wood down here. Move that over here. Thank you, Kim. All right. So I want it probably about right there, and then I'll put just a little tag. I feel like that's straight. There we go. Underneath it that says vacation. Like just a little strip of white, I think. All right. So let me make sure my page is straight. That's going to help me so I don't have to get right over top of it. All right, so I'm just going to put it down. Okay, there's the B. And I'm going to put my B right on the case because I'll never be able to figure out. So B-E-A, right? B-E-A. We're about done. Just have to finish the title and put a few embellishments on. See that right there? I want to wipe that off. I hope that's close enough. I think it is going to be perfect. Okay. And A. Do that one kind of up. I could have done it a little bit higher, but that'll work. A. Just putting those away. And these two letters are the fatter ones. A little bit wider. I was so excited when I got this collection. Particularly the Seaside Wishes. So I'll probably be using a little bit more over the next month. So I think I'm going to do my Make It Mondays using, at least I'm going to make a few beach pages, 2x2 scrapbook pages. I think I can go either way with that. I think it's got some fuzz on there. And so I hope I get my, all right, so this needs to be up a little bit higher. I'm gonna just barely, like, not sure I want it to really touch. Okay, perfect, I like it. And then I'll have just where it says underneath here, maybe vacation, or maybe I'll put Florida Beach Vacation. There we go. I think I like that. And then inside here, I will share the story of why we went, and I might even put a little bit of a little blurb in there about the PB&J story, because that's kind of the point of my pages on Wednesdays, is to do a sketch. And again, I've started a PDF tutorial in Canva with the diagram, like the sketch, the pattern of the papers and this cluster. So I am going to try to create a free PDF that I can share with you on Wednesdays. Now, since that's story and sketch, kind of need to give you more details on the sketch. I've been kind of winging it since I started this back up in the 1st of June, and I'm trying to add something new each month that I can incorporate without it being too overwhelming. So be on the lookout for that. I'm going to try to finish that up here in just a little bit. Okay, I'm going to wipe up. I can see I've got ink over here I forgot about. I wiped up my story. So I love this glass mat and being able just to grab a wet chamois to clean it up like super quick. All right, so here we go. We just needed to put a few embellishments. Now I got to decide what color. I'm kind of leaning toward the, I don't think it tells me what colors. The petal pink. Since we have some pink down here, I need to bring some pink up here. So let's do that. All right, I've got those. And I think that's all I'll add right now until I get my title in here, and I might do a little bit more over here. Let me kind of look and see if I could. I'm not sure about that. So I may add a tiny bit more once I get those. So I think I will put Florida Beach Vacation. Or I got another idea, impromptu beach vacation, and share the story of why we took this. Okay, so there we have it. There is my Seaside Wishes with Country Woods 8.5 by 11 scrapbook page. I'll get my journaling in there. I'll share the finished page with you shortly, and be on the lookout for that PDF, I'll put it into the description, and I'll also add the description. I'll move over the other information from part 1 into part 2. And I'll also put a comment or share. I'll share that I updated it in the YouTube community, maybe along in my stories and on my Facebook page. So if y'all have any questions, let me know. I appreciate you joining me today. Thank you, Kim, for being with me. Thank you, Lori. Appreciate that. And anyone else that was watching, be sure to like and follow. Leave me a little comment, even if it's just hello. And I'll see y'all on Friday for Feel Good Friday. And I haven't decided what I'll be doing exactly, but it will be cards and probably fun folds. So we'll have some fun then. Y'all have a great Wednesday, rest of the week, and I'll see y'all soon.